Live worldwide on DAZN. Let's first welcome to the ring the challenger, Samuel the Black Panther Nmomah.
Samuel Nmomah, born in Nigeria, moved to Italy with his family when he was 11 years old, had his first amateur bout at the age of 15, turned pro at 18, and every one of his fights, Sergio, have been in Italy.
And that's a red flag. You know, you really want to get out and get more styles, you know, fight in different countries. Whenever you have a fighter that only fights in one country, especially the one that he's from, that's a red flag because you're not accustomed to seeing different power, different speed, different height, different styles of boxing. And Italy's not known for a boxing hotbed either.
And Vito Mielnicki from Jersey, obviously a lot of Italians there. He's of Italian heritage. I'm told that at the weigh-in, he was telling Vito, "You're a fake Italian."
That one stings.
And now let's welcome to the ring the defending champion, Vito White Magic Mielnicki Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ring for Night of the Champions from the A&B Arena here in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to give a special thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, and Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority and Saudi Boxing Federation, His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh. We get things started with 10 rounds scheduled, and it will be for the WBO Global Middleweight Championship. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Sella, Ring Magazine, Frank Warren for Queensberry, and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, along with their premium partners, Saudi Tourism Authority, STC, Saudi National Bank, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, and Saudia. Their strategic partners, Mayar United, Arroyo Cruises, Sadia, Lucid Motors, SHG, and Azure. Their main partners, Pepsi and Arena Fitness Innovation, and their commercial partner, Prime. Sanctioned by the Saudi Boxing Commission, President Jose Mohan, along with the World Boxing Organization, President Gustavo Olivetti. The three judges assigned are Nawaf Al Mohammed of Saudi Arabia, Pavel Hennig of Czech Republic, and Mike Ross of the United States. Our referee in charge will be Hector Afu of Panama. Introducing first the challenger. Fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with gold and weighed in officially at 159.6 pounds. A native of Lagos, Nigeria, he is now fighting out of Novara, Italy, and brings an undefeated record with 21 wins. 5 of those 21 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former WBC International Silver Champion, Samuel the Black Panther Nmomah. And his opponent across the ring, he is the defending champion. Fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with navy blue and weighed in the same as his opponent, 159.6 pounds. Hailing from Roseland, New Jersey, USA, he has a professional record of 21 wins, just 1 defeat, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked number 6 by the WBO. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending WBO Global Middleweight Champion, Vito White Magic Mielnicki Jr.
Let's go, guys.
Gentlemen, remember the instructions in the dressing room. I want a clean fight. Touch glove, good luck.
So who do you like? The Nigerian-Italian Black Panther or the American-Italian White Magic?
What a nickname, White Magic. You could be White Magic, Todd. How about Magic Mike Coffee?
There you go. All right, scheduled for 10 rounds. Vito Mielnicki Jr. in the white and black. Samuel Nmomah in the gold and white.
Starting off, it's going to be the battle of the jabs. Both these guys have nice, stiff jabs. Who's going to alternate it better? Who's going to disguise, the jab to land harder and cleaner and start breaking down that defense and high guard that both carry?
Mielnicki has faced adversity before in his 9th pro fight. He lost an 8-round majority decision to James Martin, but he was only 18 years old at the time. Since then, he's perfect. 21-1 overall.
Yeah, and he was never able to avenge that loss, Todd. He had an immediate rematch set, and then Martin came in 8 pounds overweight.
Vito throws that right hand and just off the line was Nmomah.
Yeah, majority decision lost there by Mielnicki. And it's a shame to blemish your record like that, never get that rematch.
But this just goes to show an early loss in your career isn't as devastating as it once was. A high-profile bout here for Mielnicki.
And almost another blemish earlier this year, Vito Mielnicki had a draw in February with Connor Coyle, later changed to a no contest. Connor Coyle failed a drug test.
Subro Matias also failing a drug test earlier this week. Mike, I think you broke the news online. What's this do for his career?
Yes, Todd did break the news. Matias is going to have to wait for his B sample now to be tested, and that January fight, title defense against Dalton Smith, in serious jeopardy now.
It's a damn shame with that, because Subriel Matias was, there to be the boogeyman. I nicknamed him the boogeyman. Then since that Puerto Rican fight, he lost his title, and everything's been going downhill and down south.
Yeah, well, hey, you lose to Liam Parr. Maybe that's why he turned perhaps to some performance-enhancing drugs.
Liam Parr was a hell of a fighter, hell of a boxer.
Don't forget, Matias coming off a great win in July on another Ring Magazine card against Alberto Puello.
As for Mielnicki Jr., a very good amateur fighter, trained by his father. In fact, his first competitive bout was at the age of 7. He was too young to compete, so his father doctored his paperwork so he could get in the ring.
Yeah, his father's a colorful character, Todd. Boxing promoter. I've actually covered a couple of fights promoted by his dad. Not a guy you want to mess with.
Yeah, 4-time junior national Golden Gloves champion for Vito Mielnicki Jr.
Mielnicki with a stabbing jab right to the torso. That's what I want to see. Jabbing upstairs and downstairs. Mix it up with that jab, because it is going to be that lead hand that's going to break down and set up the bigger shots by both fighters.
10 seconds.
An uppercut there from Samuel.
Yeah, dangerous punch to throw as a lead punch, but if you get away with it, it's good.
Stop.
The World Championships are tried out to
Listen, take your time, okay? But look, we got to be busy behind the left hand. Got to be busy. Keep that jab up high, okay? Forget jabbing to the body. We don't need that. I need you to jab up high. A lot of double jabs by hand. Then start adding the hook.
Okay.
All right? Push up to the middle. Okay? Everything is good. We won the round. And just keep busy though. We gotta stay busy. Keep backing them up behind that jab. Okay? Keep doubling and tripling the jab up. But look, when you get close, I need combinations going. Not one shot. Okay? There's gotta be combinations.
More jabs. That great Ronnie Shields in the corner of Vito Mielnicki. Double and triple up the jabs. And like I said initially, this is going to be a battle of the jabs to start off this fight. And that's what's going to actually separate one fighter from the other. Who's going to start busting up the other with that lead left hand?
Mielnicki has a nice jab there as well. He's been around the world perfecting his craft. He's competed in Canada, Serbia, Spain, England, Puerto Rico, and now here in Saudi Arabia.
I love seeing that in your road warrior like that, seeing different faces in different locations. But back to that jab, guys. I'm telling you, this is a prime example of two really good fighters where the basics, it's all going to come down to the ABCs of boxing: the jab, the right hand, the left hook. Nothing tricky, nothing creative, nothing out of the ordinary.
Look at the back muscles on Samuel Nmomah.
Ooh, good check hook there by Mielnicki.
All his muscles, quite frankly, he is shredded. Oh, nice follow-up with the jab, the right hand. And Mielnicki really shining here in round 2.
Beautiful combination.
Mielnicki can really use some cheering up. He's a diehard Jets fan. You know how that season's going right now.
Yeah, not well. Have they won a game? They might have won one.
Maybe one.
That just means you get a better draft pick. At this point, they should just tank.
Good shot there by Moomah.
Nmomah turned pro when Mielnicki was 14 years old. That was back in 2016. Beat Slajan Dragic. I'm sure a household name. Again, that right hand on the money, just missed with the uppercut.
I noticed that anytime Mielnicki throws an uppercut or a hook, and Moomah tries to throw the exact same punch and mirror Vito Mielnicki. See?
Oh, and they both throw hooks.
They're both exchanging the exact same punches. They're similar in height, in stature, and in combinations.
Is that just an habit that he may not know about?
Maybe. Maybe it's a habit that he doesn't know about, or it's just that he's doing it, instinctively.
And what would you do if you saw that your opponent was copying what you do?
I would love that. I would feint and throw something out of the ordinary, like a left hook. Actually, Brian Norman Jr. mentioned that in an interview, saying that he saw that in Jin Sasaki, that he was emulating every punch. And Norman Jr. really impressed me with the intelligence of what he said. He says, I set him up with a fake jab downstairs and came around with the left hook. And of course, we all know what happened. Knockout of the year type.
Norman called it the knockout of the decade. If you haven't seen it, look it up. I'm sure we'll show it here a little later on.
And you can see Mielnicki's looking for that left hook as well. He's setting up with the jab down to the belly, try to get Nmomah to start pawing at that body shot where you come around the guard. There we go. Nice jab by Vito.
Sì, mi piace sto round perché non devi calare di concentrazione. Lui sa cosa sta facendo? già è l'over, sta puntando l'over. Tu continui ad andare a sinistra e continui ad andare a sinistra con la mano giù. Alza sta mano, bam, bam, questo dall'alto e stampa 1-2, non partire col destro.
There's that jab, lead right hand, breaking the guard. That right hand would have been more devastating if he let the front foot get in a little bit closer. I mean, this is a game of inches, and that was 1 inch away from being a devastating right hand. But it will be there again for Vito Mielnicki. He just needs to be patient and stay behind that jab.
Seconds out. Round 3.
A lot of times fighters from foreign countries come in with glossy records like Nmomah with 21-0, and you kind of look deeper into their resume, Sergio. 13 of his 21 opponents had non-winning records.
That's another red flag. The fact that all your fights have been in one country, your own, and then fighting losing records. These are all red flags. You got to break down the numbers and look behind the opponents. Who have you been fighting, and who have they been fighting?
Oh, a left hand while they were clinching. The referee will give Vito a talking to.
That was actually a good move by Vito. He tried to get an angle on him and took advantage of the flat feet of Nmomah. It just so happened to be it during a clinch, but I would want to see Vito try that again. Get an angle on those wide shoulders of Nmomah. Maybe he won't even see the punches coming behind the size of his shoulder. Good shots there by Vito.
Right, yeah, Vito scoring almost at will. He seems much more cultured in there. That's because of that extensive amateur record, Mike. 147 wins, 22 losses.
And you look at his corner. I mean, Ronnie Shields, one of the best trainers in the game, former pro boxer, trained Pernell Whitaker to all those titles, one of the greatest fighters of all time.
And he's trained everybody. Mike Tyson, Vernon Forrest. I mean, Ronnie Shields, a great trainer, period.
And yes, that was for Max Kellerman. We had to give Max a Pernell Whitaker shout out.
Shout out to Max. Good jab there by Nmomah.
You can catch Max. Oh, nice right hand. And then a body shot followed up here for Vito. You can catch Max and Mike Coppinger on the Ring Magazine show every Monday on DAZN.
Mielnicki needs to worry on speed right now. He's loading up too much on punches. And he's looking for the knockout. That's great, but do it behind speed right now. Break down a stubborn fighter in Moomah who's undefeated. He's not accustomed to losing. So break him down with speed, bust him up with that jab, soften him up with body shots, and then you can go for the knockout. You got a lot of time left. You got a 10-round fight.
Mielnicki with just over 50% KO power, 12 knockouts in his 21 wins. Nmomah's got to change something up.
And Vito's sparred over 100 rounds, he said, with former 2-division champion Jamal Charlo. Sergio, how much does that help you in a fight like this?
Oh, man, championship sparring. I mean, anytime you're dealing with a great trainer like Ronnie, you're going to have great boxers in your stable. You got to take advantage of that. Just like Bram Rodriguez and Robert Garcia. They have the best sparring because they have the best fighters in that stable.
Vito wants to land that right hand in the worst way, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, but he's loading up too much. Like I said earlier, focus on speed. It will be there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, BKFC returns to DAZN. Live from Florida, BKFC 85. Austin Trout, former boxing world champion, fought Canelo, taking on Luis Palomino. That's a rematch, the Hard Rock Hotel, Saturday, December 5th.
I need 3, 4, 5 punches for it, okay? And look, start looking at the body sometimes.
Vito Mielnicki on the front foot. There's that angle that he got. If the referee didn't say break, that actually would have been a legal shot. Because he caught an angle, landed that jab. Beautiful jab right there. That right hand just missed cleanly right there. But Vito's going in the right direction right now, getting closer and closer to landing the big shot. Big punches are going to hurt Nmomah.
Yeah, Sergio, you mentioned Alcal last fight. You'd like to see Mielnicki being violent in there, right? Punching on the brake. As Teddy Atlas says, no silent agreements.
You know what? Yeah, you want to see a young fighter have that mean streak. You know, you can't teach that bad intention, even if it's borderline. I hate to say illegal, but borderline dirty. You know, just let the referee call it dirty. If you can get away with it, show that you can have another gear, let's say.
Thinking about other Nigerian fighters historically, all of them come from the heavyweight division. Of course, Samuel Peter, WBC champ. Ibiabuchi. Remember him when he fought Chris Bird. David Tua was derailed by legal issues. Henry Akinwande. Anthony Joshua, born to Nigerian parents. Nice right hand there from Vito.
Oh, yeah. The Panther's hurt.
Oh, yeah, he put his hand up to steady himself on the ropes. This could be the beginning of the end of Samuel Nmomah.
Yeah, he's out right now. He doesn't have his legs under him.
Right hand to the temple again. You can see the look on his face. He just looks perplexed.
Yes, he does. Mielnicki should go to the body right now. Good upper body movement for Nmomah right now. Dig down to the body, and then those headshots would open up again. But stay on him.
Right hand again. That should have been a knockdown. The ropes kept him up. The referee taking a real good look at him.
Absolutely, that should have been a knockdown time.
Vito Mielnicki Jr. on the biggest stage of his career is putting on perhaps his best performance.
And it'll be the best win of his career with an undefeated 21-0 fighter in Moomah.
Talk about this is his third fight at 160. That's a division, Sergio, that's wide open.
And he fills out the weight nicely at 6 foot. You know, this is going to be the weight division for Vito Mielnicki going forward.
Vito wanted the knockout, and he came so close to getting it there here in the 4th round.
He'll come around again. I like the patience that Mielnicki is showing.
And, of course, Momoa's never lost. He's, to my knowledge, not really been in any serious trouble, so this is all new to him. And you saw him glance over earlier at his corner, almost like, what do I do? And he just clinched up as best he could.
You can see that Nmomah's strong. He's not a power puncher. You know, he doesn't have a high knockout ratio, but you can see that he's a strong guy. And that's he was able to be resilient enough to shake off those cobwebs and being hurt.
Momoa has no answer for that jab that keeps scoring.
And that's what Mielnicki should keep doing. Keep that shotgun jab in front of the face of Nmomah. Punch him to the chest, the belly, and dig down to the body.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Sit down. Acqua in testa, vedo. Acqua in testa. Guarda su. Mettili un po' d'acqua in testa. No. Ehi, ti hai preso comunque il colpo là. Ok? Cavolo, devi tenere su. Questo è il tuo scudo. Guarda, tu, spalla bella alta.
Vito Mielnicki looking for a way to break and pierce the guard of Nmomah, going around the guard with that straight right hand, right on the tip of the chin. And you're right, Todd, that probably should have been a knockdown if it wasn't for the ropes that held up Samuel Nmomah in that punch. Nice, clean shot. The knees gave out right away on Nmomah.
Corners, 10 seconds.
But he recovered nicely because of his conditioning and strong legs. We'll see if Vito Mielnicki can get him in that position again.
Round 5.
How patient would you be now if you're Vito, Sergio, or would you go right after him?
No, you still got half a fight left. You still keep busting him up with that jab.
Mielnicki's been in the game a long time. We talked about his amateur success. His pro debut occurred just 3 months after attending his junior prom. Born to fight. So what would your advice be to Momoa now to try and turn the tide here? By my record, he's probably lost the first 4 rounds.
Yeah, every time Vito throws a jab, I would come back with two jabs. If you're in Moomah, you got to get your own jab started as well.
Through 4 rounds, you can see the stats here. Mielnicki Jr. has landed 32 power punches, 76 total shots, but that's a knockdown.
That should be a knockdown, guys. That should be a knockdown. That was a clean right hand landed by Nmomah.
The referee says no. We'll see the replay in between rounds.
The ref got it wrong. That was a clean shot to the left side of the head of Mielnicki.
Maybe the referee felt it was behind the head. Either way, a ray of sunshine for Nmomah.
Mielnicki got away with one in there. That was a clean knockdown. And you can see that kind of shook him a little bit because he hasn't really thrown a punch since then.
There's a right hand.
Good body shot by Nmomah. That might have caught the attention of Vito Mielnicki with that body shot.
Yeah, he is circling away now for really the first time in this fight. A great comeback round here for the Nigerian who lives in Italy.
Yeah, and it was in May, Todd, that Nigerian heavyweight Efe Ajagba scored a draw in an upset against Martin Bakoli. Most people thought he won. He's in the Ring Magazine top 10.
This is Nmomah's chance. Vito Mielnicki got hurt to the body, and maybe that chopping right hand that should have been a knockdown. He's hurt right now. Maybe shaking off the cobwebs, not letting his hands go. Is Vito Mielnicki on the back foot now. I don't know if Nmomah realizes it, but this is his time to really put it in another gear.
Yeah, right when things seem really bad for Nmomah, he answers with his best round of the fight here in the 5th. Not really a power puncher, 5 knockouts in his 21 wins, Nmomah.
It goes to show you that muscles don't translate to power, because Samuel Nmomah looks...
That's just something non-muscular guys say. That's why you said it.
No, but it's true though. It doesn't translate to power. Sometimes the skinniest guys are the most devastating punchers. You're born with power, but then if you can actually, get the right amount of torque and twist and land with the clean shot, it still does damage.
Fucking right hand. Huh? A little bit. Your right hand there? Okay. That's a thing, baby. That's a thing. Listen. So that's what more with the left. That's all we gotta do. It's stay control. You gotta control around. Control around.
And look at this right hand. Oh, it was a bite. Hit him with the bicep. That was a right call. Right call by the referee. It wasn't a clean punch. Kind of cuffed him. Right. It cuffed him and hit him with the bicep. Impressive call by the referee right there. It's hard to really get that right angle, but that landed right there. Clean right hook around the wide shoulders of Nmomah.
Seconds out, round 6.
It's a shame we didn't get to see that body shot in slow motion, because I think that caught the attention of Vito Mielnicki, and that's the reason he was backing up and not punching for a good minute.
Mielnicki said in the corner that he hurt his right hand. Ronnie Shields said, all right, well, we're going to have to do it with the left.
That's the way to go. That's the way a mind frame of a fighter should be.
Good instructions from Ronnie.
And like I said, Ronnie he's trained some of the greatest fighters in boxing. It's a tough sport. You got 2 hands. You got injured one, go with the other one.
Trained Arturo Gotti, that hoopball with a broken hand once against Mickey Ward.
Still throwing the right is Mielnicki, but you've got to believe he's not putting 100% behind it. But Sergio, I'm sure you know this, a lot of fighters who injure their hand in a fight, it takes a few rounds before maybe it becomes numb and you can start using it again.
Yeah, and adrenaline kicks in as well. I mean, it's fight or flight, so you can fight through the injury.
Yeah, it's already broken, right? Or possibly, or bruised.
Yeah, that's when you just gotta, punch with an open hand. You just gotta start not closing your fist, because the more you tighten up your fist, the more it's gonna hurt.
Left hook there and a right hand from Nmomah. And he's backing Vito up.
And Moomah is sensing that something is wrong. He doesn't know that Mielnicki has a hurt hand, but he senses something's up.
I don't think we saw Mielnicki really back up much at all in the first 4 rounds, right?
It was all in his front foot. Vito Mielnicki totally in control. The jab busting him up, hurting Nmomah, but we see the resilience coming back from the Nigerian fighter.
Being warned for using his forehead was Mielnicki. Mielnicki was having a lot of success early on, especially in round 3. Moomah has bounced back rather nicely, made this competitive. Mielnicki Jr. was hoping to make the 2020 U.S. Olympic team, but turned pro after losing on a controversial shot overseas.
Moomah landed a clean left hook, lifted Mielnicki from his heels. That was a big shot.
Mike, it almost feels like a Japan type of crowd here. Very quiet, even though we're sold out.
Yeah, very respectful crowd. We did hear the crowd get pretty loud for the 2 Saudi fighters, but hopefully we can get some fireworks to wake them up.
Good shot there by Vito Mielnicki, short chopping right hook.
And it is 1:40 in the morning local time. Good right hand there from Vito. And look who's here, Brian Norman Jr., ladies and gentlemen, the WBO champion at 147 pounds. Sergio, you've watched all the tape. How dangerous of a puncher is he?
They don't call him the assassin for nothing. I mean, this is a man that carries bricks in both hands, confident, has momentum going for him. But see, he has athleticism as well. The man could box, but he can take you out with one shot as well.
But yeah, this is the first time for Norman fighting on this kind of stage. Devin Haney's been here so many times before. He beat Vasily Lomachenko in a thriller in Vegas a couple of years ago.
And you could see it in his face. Devin Haney Jr., he knows he's been here before.
Bonus, 10 seconds.
Calm, cool. The champ is collected, but he's in it tonight with a big puncher and champion in Norman Jr.
Round 7.
Shout out to Box Raw for some of the best fight gear in the game. Yeah, Devin Haney, why would he be intimidated? He's already been in there with Jorge Linares, Lomachenko. I mean, this guy has been under the bright lights for years now. But it's a new division, 147 pounds. His last fight, Mike, was at a catchweight.
That's right. And I think Devin Haney's actually going to be bigger and stronger at 147. These have been really brutal weight cuts for him.
10 straight fights for Devin that have gone the distance.
And that's the question a lot of people in boxing have, is can you really get power the higher you go in weight? I mean, he wasn't a puncher at 35 or 40. A lot of people are skeptical that he's going to have power at welterweight.
What do you think?
I don't think you can get power like that. If you didn't have it at 135, you're certainly not going to have it going up in weight. But he didn't make a career being a power puncher, so it doesn't matter.
It's not common, but you have seen it before. Crawford was a good puncher at 35 and 40. At 47, he knocked out every single opponent. I think it was 8 or 9 of them.
And had Canelo in real trouble in the late rounds in Las Vegas a few months ago.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike. Exception to every rule.
As for this fight, Mielnicki Jr. complaining a couple rounds ago that he hurt his right hand in the corner. Since then, he has not been as dominant as he was in some of the early rounds.
I like the way Mielnicki's stabbing the body now with that jab. See, there it is right there.
Changing levels with it too, yeah.
Going up, going down. I don't know if that's his hurt hand, but if it is, maybe he wants to hit a softer target, and that's the belly. But since he hasn't thrown the right hand, I would assume it's the right hand that he hurt.
Yeah, that's what he said to his trainer. Mielnicki Jr., a native of Belleville, New Jersey, son of the promoter, Vito Mielnicki Jr., or senior rather, who guided him to so much amateur success. Now as a pro, handing the reins over to Ronnie Shields. That's not easy for fathers to do, Mike. A lot of them want to say, no, I got him here, I'm going to keep him.
Yeah, we have a lot of fathers tonight training their sons. Bill Haney, Jose Benavides Sr., Brian
Norman Sr., yep.
It takes a lot for fathers to do that, but if they actually do, it's actually better, in my opinion, for fighters to let them grow on their own. Like Virgil Ortiz Jr., for example.
Mielnicki's trainer, Ronnie Shields, said he's been very impressed with his fighters' work ethic. He said if they gave out titles for work ethics, he'd already be a champion. But obviously they do not.
Ooh, good shot. There's that right hook again.
Yeah, Vito holding on.
I like to see Nmomah throw that right hook to the body. That's going to actually open up that right hook upstairs by throwing it downstairs, getting Mielnicki to think, you know, he's going to the ribs. Then you can loop it up top.
Deep breath, let him slow. How we feeling? Okay, now listen. Here's where you gotta separate yourself, right here. This round here. Separate yourself from this guy. Okay. I want double the jab, right hand, hook right hand, right behind it. Or double the jab, shoot the right hand.
Big names here in the house: Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn, Frank Ward, of course, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. You think Eddie's still smarting from that 5-on-5 last year here in Saudi, where all his fighters lost?
He was. I think he's feeling pretty good right now after his big win 1 week ago in London. Conor Benn, domination against Chris Eubank Jr.
Seconds out, 8th round.
And if you're Mielnicki, keep stabbing that body. You've had a lot of success, you know, landing with accuracy down to the belly. And you can see that Nmomah now is going with that jab downstairs too.
And Mike, back to that Conor Benn win over Chris Eubank Jr. A lot of people saying, wait, Eubank Jr. just looked completely weight drained, exhausted. He didn't look himself. What do you make of it? Was it more Conor Benn being great or Eubank Jr. being depleted?
Yeah, look, you hate to take credit away from somebody that has such a good performance, right? Conor Benn, way different approach than the first fight, much more disciplined, didn't get reckless, feints, footwork. Thought that was a real quality win, and it reminded us why he was such a highly touted prospect not too long ago.
History doesn't remember weight drain. You know, they remember winners. And Conor Benn, you know, he did what he had to do, and he's back in the limelight now.
I think a lot of people remember Oscar De La Hoya being weight drained when he lost to Manny Pacquiao. That was the most glaring example I can recall.
Yeah, but that was the end of his career. You know, last fight, that's how great fighters normally exit their great career, you know, on the stool or on the canvas.
Oh, big right hand from Mielnicki, and you wonder if his hand wasn't hurt. Would that have been a knockdown type of blow? To his credit, though, Nmomah has been rocked in this fight, but has not gone down.
And both these guys still fencing with that jab. This is an evenly matched fight, and that's what, good right hand there by Mielnicki. That's what happens when you have evenly matched fights. You know, you got to find a way to break through the guard, get the big shots landed, and everything's with that lead punch. Oof.
Boy. But again, it was that forearm that seemed to hit Mielnicki from Nmomah, the one that dropped him earlier, and the referee wisely said that was not a knockdown.
I'd like to see foot feints by either of these fighters. That would actually get the other guy to throw a punch, and then maybe you can counter off that. That's the importance of a foot feint. That's the importance of getting your opponent to punch when he doesn't want to punch. You're in control of it with those feints. But if you're jabbing and letting your opponent know that you're telling the truth every time, you're not fooling anyone. Nmomah might be.
Yeah, I was wondering, did that hurt him a little bit? Seems off kilter.
Yeah, he shook a little bit. You can see the bounce of his legs are stiff.
Yep.
Mielnicki's starting to bust up Nmomah now. You see blood coming out of the mouth. His right eye's busted up.
There's an opportunity for Vito Mielnicki to really pick it up. The opponent's hurt, whether he knows it or not. He's in great shape. That's the reason he's hiding it.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to be able to get his foundation right. Oh, and a leaping left hook from Mielnicki as Nmomah had his hands by his waist, and he ate another one. And boy, he's barely going to make it to the end of this round.
And Nmomah's hurt on his feet right now.
Good. Everything is good. Everything is good. That's what we need. We just need you moving your hands, okay?
Number 9 coming up.
Moving that head, moving your hands. Okay. When you're not punching, I don't want you on the line. I want your head moving, okay? Step this way, step that way, and when you're going back in, go behind your punches, but combinations, okay? Look, When you throw the right hand, bring the hook back. When you throw the hook, bring the right hand back. Okay? You gotta keep remember. 3.
Vito Mielnicki doubling that jab, coming around with the over the hand, chopping right hand, landed cleanly on Nmomah, and back to the jab. But you gotta keep your opponents hurt when you land a clean shot like that. And if it didn't ricochet off the shoulder, that would have done more damage. But Mielnicki, the tide is turning, landing clean shots to the body up top. This is an important round for Mielnicki to really put another gear and try to get Nmomah out of there.
It's an important round for Moomah, too, to survive, but it may not be good enough to survive, Mike. How many rounds do you think Moomah's won in this fight?
Probably 2 at most, maybe 3, but sound advice from Ronnie Shields in the corner. You hear him telling Vito to move his head off the center line when he's throwing his punches, and I believe that's because Nmomah is trying to time with that right hand over Vito's left hook or jab.
You know, Vito would love to score a knockout here. He's number 6 ranked in the world by the WBO. A sensational performance or finish here might propel him up the rankings and earn him a world title shot. Like Mike said, this division pretty wide open.
I mean, the best fighter in the division clearly right now, Janabek, Alan Connolly, going to be fighting Arizona Lara next month in a middleweight title unification. You have Carlos Adames, who's fought here before, had a draw with Hamza Shiraz.
Still using that jab is Mielnicki. Referee says, hey, keep fighting. Round and a half to go in this middleweight battle. The Nigerian, who's lived in Italy since he was 11 years old, taking on the Italian-American from Belleville, New Jersey.
Look, when you're an Italian fighting out of New Jersey, you can become a big-time attraction. They've already put Vito out a few times in Jersey and in New York City.
Mielnicki can come around the guard of the left hook. He's throwing enough jabs to the belly where he can feint a jab to the belly, come around the guard, and then Moomah will fall through right now.
Love to see Mielnicki Jr. if he got a title opportunity, maybe have it in Atlantic City. Arturo Gatti did so well there as Moomah spits blood out. Sergio, how distracting is that as a fighter when you're drinking your own blood in there?
It happens a lot. You get accustomed to it. I mean, it happens since you're a teenager. You know, you've been sparring, bloodied up. Usually you swallow it. You swallow your own blood.
Hey, some fighters might even like the taste of it, right? Tyson Fury was licking it off Deontay Wilder's face.
Right there, right.
This crowd waiting for something big to happen.
There's that jab back downstairs.
Another right shot. Yep.
Moomah's hurt, guys.
Again, just like last round.
Moomah's hurt. This is the time for Mielnicki. Speed, get the combinations going. And Moomah is out on his feet.
Another big right hand on his leg. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to continue. He's in bad shape.
That's all heart and spirit, but his corner they better be concerned for Samuel Nmomah. He might be too brave for his own good. His feet are out.
And it stops it. Vito Mielnicki Jr. with a sensational 9th round stoppage here in Riyadh.
Great call by the referee because his own team and Nmomah's own team was going to go out and let him get slaughtered, and Nmomah was out on his feet.
Yeah, you have to love the killer instincts there from Vito. It seemed like Nmomah was about to go down, and Vito came up and fired another shot to make sure of it.
The 13th knockout of his career, and it comes on the biggest stage of his career as Vito Mielnicki Jr. improves to 22-1. And who knows, maybe a title opportunity in his next fight. If not then, certainly with another victory, he would be one of the fighters to look at. Let's watch this finish again. Vito Mielnicki Jr. had Samuel Nmomah hurt several times, Sergio, in this fight. This time he didn't let him off the hook.
Oh, that was a beautiful, well-timed shot. Dipping that left hand, coming across the guard. And Nmomah was already hurt from earlier. That just reminded him of how buzzed he was. Out on his feet, Mielnicki came around the guard and went for the kill. And that's exactly what Ronnie Shields wanted. Patient, take your time, and that was a beatdown and a knockout. And credit to the referee for stopping this fight.
Yeah, great stoppage by the ref, Sergio, and you were calling for just that, punching around the guard.
Coming around the guard because the straight shots were landing to the gut now. So it was only a matter of time for Nmomah to fall for the looping shots around the guard. And that punch right there would have done even more damage if it landed. That left hook that missed, that right hand landed cleanly. That's a beatdown. Getting hit with every shot in the book. And that's what you don't want to see. Whenever you have fighters hurt and their heads bounce off the canvas, that's a bad sign to let them continue. Again, I gotta commend the referee for stopping this fight.
Yeah, and Nmomah is all heart. He was actually protesting a bit as he was wobbling back to his corner.
Well, the future of heavyweight boxing, Moses Nmomah, is back in action as he faces Jermaine Franklin in a headline act of Queensberry's Magnificent 7 at Manchester's Co-op Live. That's the venue. A stacked card coming your way Saturday, January 24th, live on DAZN. Sergio, how high are you on Nmomah?
High as I can get, man. I've been that way. I mean, I call him Trauma Nmomah. I mean, this guy is a southpaw, wicked. He's everything you want to see in this new generation of heavyweights that aren't just size and power, but footwork as well.
Here's Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 3 minutes, 9 seconds of round number 9. Our referee in charge, Hector Afu, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still WBO Global Middleweight Champion, Vito White Magic Mielnicki Jr.
So our pay-per-view portion of this card off to a rousing start as Vito Mielnicki Jr. finishes Nmomah with a sensational knockout in round number 9. Let's go back upstairs to Kate Scott.